but it's going to take leadership to do all these things and more. That's why we're asking for your prayers, your support, and vote for the DeKeither stamps for House of Representatives, District 66, on September 22nd. This is DeKeither stamps, and I approve this message. You like this? All right, everybody, we're going to go live on 90.1. Please sit back, relax, and enjoy.
Reviving Mississippi with your host, DeKeither Stamps, Jackson City Councilman Ward 4, heard every Wednesday evening from 6 p.m. to 7 p.m. just before Let's Talk with WMPR's own owner, host Mr. James Charles Evers, exclusively on 90.1 FM WMPR. This show is designated as your platform for call-ins to discuss all community-minded issues of Jacksonians and Mississippians here and abroad. This is your open forum, and you're invited to voice your opinions and concerns relevant to matters that affect you in our capital city, Jackson, and throughout the state of Mississippi. We now join Reviving Mississippi with your host, DeKeither Stamps, Jackson City Councilman Ward 4 on 90.1 FM, the voice of the community, WMPR.
Teach you the way. Maybe they never listen to what you.
1 second, we're ready to go live. Good evening, everyone. Welcome to our show. We are glad to have you here. We appreciate you for the 7.5 years that you've been tuning in every Wednesday night. My name is DeKeither Stamps. Our co-host is sitting out today, and our other co-host is sitting out as well. So I don't know why everybody else is getting sick. I must be doing something halfway right. I got tested the other day, and I'm still COVID-free. I'm not quarantined, anything like that. We got a great show lined up for you, ladies and gentlemen. We got some friends from over Rankin County to talk about some events that are going on. We also want to start every show off like we always do, and we want to send special condolence to those people who are going through bereavement. You know, bereavement is a real tough thing, especially now during these coronavirus times. We aren't able to gather like we normally do, because gathering is kind of our coping mechanism, how we endure life together, how we get over strife, how we, deal with things. And so that's why we want to keep those folks who are going through bereavement in your prayers, because in these trying times, we all will need a friend. So be a friend. So when it's your time of need, and it will be your time of need, you'll have a friend in that moment. So long after the repast and everybody go eat chicken, come on out the next week and the next month, and remember to, touch base with folks, because getting over a loved one is more than a quick process. It takes time, and you never really get over the passage of a loved one, but you learn to endure. But it's only through friends, family, love, and caring. So be a friend, so you'll have a friend when your time of need comes. We also want to start the show off, appreciate our sponsors. Mr. Michael Jordan Transportation Service at mjstransportation1.com. You can go there for two very important things. I think he's going to do about 3-4 more people. He started off with 25, and now he's down to a handful of slots to fill. Very selective young man, but it's a great place to supplement your income. You can go to mjstransportation1.com for information on employment and for the best ride in the South. You got very attentive, very well vetted people who work in with them. They do great work and provide a great service to the community. And if you need a ride, go to mjstransportation1.com. Today we got two good friends of mine. Rankin County is definitely near and dear to some of the things we've done in the past. We got great support last year from our friend Mr. Ryan Brown and Mr. Ken North in that area. And they're here to talk about an initiative they have going on. Mr. Brown, I don't know who wants to go first. Mr. North.
Thank you, DeKeither. We've known one another, I think, about 2 years now. And I had heard you on the radio,
Mm-hmm.
and I liked your slogan
Mm-hmm.
of reviving
Mm-hmm.
Mississippi. And it seems to me that in this election year, this is what is needed.
Mm-hmm.
We need to have candidates
Mm-hmm.
elected who want to have a renaissance,
Mm-hmm.
who want to see a rebirth,
Mm-hmm.
especially of the three metro counties. But of
Mhm.
course, Hines is the central
Mm-hmm.
county. But we in Rankin
Mm-hmm.
can help
Mm-hmm.
Hines. The more votes that we can attract
Mm-hmm.
in Rankin, that's better for the statewide
Mm-hmm.
elections, because that becomes a plus.
Mm-hmm.
And so I want to talk to you just briefly about a national day that's coming up on September 22nd.
Mm-hmm.
It's National Voter Registration Day.
Mm-hmm.
Now, change, rebirth, renaissance has to have a place to begin.
Mm-hmm.
And beginning politically, it's registration.
That's right.
You can't vote if you're not registered
Right.
to vote. And this is a national program that you can look it up on National Voter Registration Day. You can skew on Mississippi, and you will see the places where that's be able to have it in Mississippi. In fact, there is one in Hines County, up at the Broad Street,
Mm-hmm.
I believe, and that's coffee in the morning. I think it's running from 7 to 11.
Okay.
But it's a place to go and to register. As I said, register is extremely important, and it's very simple to
Mm-hmm.
do. You have about 7 questions that you just have to fill in the blank. You don't need any picture.
Mm-hmm.
You just need to fill out your vitals: age, address, not age, address, phone number, county in which you live in, and that you're a citizen of Mississippi. And we will have those forms available on the September 22nd from 4 to 7 o'clock. Now, the locations are on the main avenues leading into Rankin County. We have one at the Outlet Mall there on Highway 80. The parking lot will be in the south parking lot, which is just off of Highway 80 at Sutherland's. The second one is the Nobu Hair Salon, which is on Lakeland Avenue, near that rug carpet place, and I think near Wells Fargo Bank as well,
And Primos.
in the next group. And True Vine Missionary Baptist Church. And Ryan, maybe you would describe where that is.
Sure. True Vine Missionary Baptist Church is located on Highway 471 and Vine Drive in Flowood. So if you're familiar with where Northwest Rankin High School is, it's on that same street, same street as Northwest Rankin High School, right there at Highway 471. So we have a lot of traffic going up and down, folks heading back from work. So come on by and see us over at True Vine Missionary Baptist Church.
So it sounds like a great event, and I look forward to hearing the great results. You always have good activities over there. You got a pretty strong apparatus over there. I believe last time during the elections, I think Mike Ishter got 13,000 votes out of Rankin County.
Yeah, I say we have a lot of blueberries in the tomato soup in Rankin County. But if you think about it, we're 48 days away from one of the most important elections that we've had, and certainly in my lifetime. And think about it this way. Voting starts for some folks on Monday.
That's right.
I mean, absentee voting starts on Monday. I mean, if you're 65 years of age or older, or if you're planning on being out of town on election day, or you've got to be at work while the polls are open, you're eligible to vote absentee. You can go down to the circuit clerk's office and vote starting Monday. Go ahead, save the time waiting in line and all that stuff. If you know who you're going to vote for, just head on down to the circuit clerk's office and go ahead and get that done. And if you think about it, Rankin County is always perceived as the big red blob on the map, but statewide, you think about to 2018, that if you think about, we've got 1,750 some odd precincts in the state of Mississippi. If Mike Espy would have received about 34 more votes in each precinct in Mississippi, he'd be running for re-election as a senator right now. I mean, just think about that. Just if you knew 30 folks that you work with or go to church with or whatever that case may be in your own community, we'd have a Democratic U.S. senator right now, and that's nothing to scoff at. I mean, given everything that's going on right now, I mean, the margins on these things are so close that we've just got to pull everybody we can to get out to the polls in 48 days.
Yes, and we're nonpartisan. This is a nonpartisan event. It's a National Voter Registration Day. And so we want to encourage people to start participating in their governing and to get registered because you can't do anything else. You can't vote if you're not registered. And it's a very simple procedure. And I also want to mention that even if you think you're registered, but you have moved, you need to revise your application. And
you should vote where you live.
Yeah, because
it's the law.
Right. And you may then be able to vote by affidavit, I believe.
Let me catch this caller. Hello, caller. Welcome to the show. What's your question or comment?
Is that going to be a day or that's going to be an event?
It's from 4 in the afternoon to 7 in the evening.
But it's National Voter Registration Day.
Yeah, that's going to be taking place all over the country.
It's going to be all over the country, but they're having an event on the.
Well, we're very adamant about changing the Republican Party. As you know, the Republican Party was started by 4 black men and 2 white abolitionists, and we're not relinquishing power, just putting all our eggs in one basket. And we're going to take back our party, and we're going to be on a Republican ticket, and it's time out for foolishness. It's time for us to yield power as a people, and we're not just doing it with the Democratic Party. And thank everybody. We're going to take back our party, and it's just the way it's going to be. It's no more business as usual for the Democrats and the people in the Democratic Party. Thank you all, and y'all have a good night.
Be blessed, brother. So give the location of the event one more time so folks who just tuned in.
And we have 3 locations, trying to make it convenient for everybody coming into Rankin County. And it's even open to people from Hinds County, that if you need to register, come to one of these 3 sites. Site number 1 is the Mississippi Outlet Mall off of Highway 80. Just turn right if you're coming from Jackson by Sutherland's. At the traffic light there's a traffic light, make a right turn and another right, and you're right in the parking lot, but we'll have people standing around. So that's the Outlet Mall, just off of Highway 80. The second is the Novo Hair Salon, which is on Lakeland Drive. Other areas around it would be the Red Rug Carpet Place, and Wells Fargo. It's in that little area there off of Lakeland. And the third is the True Vine Missionary Baptist Church on Highway 471 off of Vine Avenue. And it's again 4 to 7 o'clock. We will be doing this in a very safe way. It's done in your own cars. It's drive-up procedure. We'll all be wearing masks, gloves, and please bring your pen if you want to. But we will be very careful.
Let me catch this call. Hello, caller. Welcome to the show. What's your question or comment?
Oh, I'm sorry, I got the wrong number.
All right. So thank y'all for coming by. We appreciate y'all for always keeping us abreast of different things that are going on.
Well, I'll give one more little tip about our events. We're also going to have sample ballots available for folks to take with them because it's not just the president and the congressional races. We have the 3 ballot referenda that are going to be on there. So we just want folks to go ahead and start getting familiar with the language that's going to be on there about the state flag, about medical marijuana, and the state's electoral college. So the more comfortable you get with that ballot, you'll be able to go in there on election day and go ahead and take care of that. And we're also going to try to have census workers available too. So we still have, as we were talking about before we came on the show, we have a lot of people that have not completed their census, and this is the month to do it because there are folks who try to cut down on time that we have to count our people. So we just need to make sure that everybody, if you haven't completed your census, go ahead and do that. We'll try to have some census paperwork available too, so we can get you counted.
All right. Well, we appreciate y'all for coming by.
Well, thanks for having us.
Anytime, you're welcome. It's been a while since I've seen y'all, and we'll reconnect soon.
All right.
Take care.
All right, good to see you.
Take care.
Take care.
All right. Ladies and gentlemen, again, can I keep that flyer?
I can text it to you, Dave.
Okay. Just so I can take a picture of it and post it. So, ladies and gentlemen, govern yourselves accordingly. There's definitely a time and a space that we need to take care. Hey, how you doing? All right. There's definitely always, National Voter Registration Day is vitally important. It's vitally important for all of us to make sure we get folks registered who are not registered to vote, and get folks re-registered who may have moved or something like that during the time period that they have lived in a certain place. So it's always pertinent for you to re-register once you move so you can be a legal voter. Hello, caller. Welcome to the show. What's your question or comment?
Good evening, Russ. How you doing?
I'm doing well.
I'd like to know, what is your opinion? What do you think about this idea?
Mm-hmm.
You got a lot of people in hospitals that may not be able to get out to the polls and vote.
Mm-hmm.
What do you think about maybe from volunteers could go into the hospital and register these people to vote, and also carry them absentee ballots and get them to do their voting, and then turn them back into the precinct? What do you think about that?
Well, in another time, that may have been a little easier to do. Right now, at the hospitals, they're only allowing, I know one hospital, I was talking about the issue last night, they're only allowing 1 visitor per patient in the hospital, period, for the whole day. So
yeah, they're
limiting the access of people, especially during coronavirus times. So there's definitely some protocols that are in place that make it harder to do that. But I do agree that, just because you're, bedridden and things like that, you should still be given access to the ability to cast your ballot. So I'll bring that up to some people, but actually doing it now may be a little challenging because of the safety protocols that are in place for coronavirus. So, but you're totally right. Everybody needs to have access to the ballot, and so.
Well, let me ask you here on the position that you're running for.
Mm-hmm.
How many other candidates on that same running for that same position?
We are blessed to be on a good ballot with good folks on the ballot. I think there are 6 folks all together.
Okay. Well, I think I say, from what I've seen, I think you're going to be the most qualified candidate. I've heard of this preacher saying that he been in the military and done this and that and everything, but he has no experience. So I think by you having been in city government and all that and the things you've done, I think you are more qualified than the rest of them on it.
Well, I appreciate it. We've said time and time again that we don't know, we're not saying we're the best candidate in the world. We're just saying we're the best one on the list.
Right.
So I appreciate you for calling, brother. All right, ladies and gentlemen, we've been joined by none other than Mr. Larry White. How you doing, sir?
Man, if you get any better, DeKeither, I'm gonna start crying tears of joy. You know my story. My story don't change, DeKeither. How you doing?
Brother, I am doing well.
How much weight you done lost, man? That's what
I
want
lost
to know.
about 4 pounds, but guess what? Over the next, normally, I normally lose about 10 pounds the last week of the election.
Okay.
So we getting after, we probably slept about 2 hours last night.
Right.
And we finna get into that mode.
Well,
when that tiger come out.
Well, you already been in that mode.
When we let the lion loose.
Yeah, I understand. Well, I appreciate the opportunity to get by here on this afternoon.
Okay.
Now, I just want to remind the voters here in Mississippi, and especially here in Hinds County, as it relates to the race on the 22nd, which is Tuesday. They need to get out and vote, and we vote Mississippi. And as we've been talking about, go ahead.
Call back.
As we've been talking about over the past months and weeks and years, across the country, government officials are making it harder for some people to vote. Changes like requiring voter ID and canceling voter registration and intentionally discriminating, making it very hard for us to vote. We got to get out and vote, and also making people go through too many different channels and changes in order to be registered as well as to vote. So the best way to fight back is voting. We got to get out and vote. Don't let them silence your vote. Make your vote heard. We want to remind people in House District 66 that on Tuesday, the 22nd, which is number of days away, only a few days. You got Sunday, Monday, and Tuesday, DeKeither. Only a few days away. We want people in Hinds County, of course, Utica 2, Spring Ridge, Southwell, Raymond 2, Hinds Community College, of course, Precinct 94, Willowwood Community Center. Of course, that's a new facility. We were down there last week, and it's a very nice facility.
I want to say a shout out to former Supervisor Peggy Calhoun. When she came to me about that project,
right,
I was like, well, let me see what we can do. And we were able to partner. Actually, city give money, county give money, which the city could have given more, to build that facility because there's no new community center on that side of town anywhere. And so I just wanted to take a moment just to say thank you to Supervisor Calhoun for being the brainchild and the lead. And it's not even her district.
Right.
Because when they redistricted one time before, a lot of her people that she used to represent are in that area.
Right. And I want to invite everyone to go by there and look at that facility. It is a state-of-the-art facility. I was observing, when I was coming in and out, I was observing some of the apparatus, meaning the light fixtures and some of the other things that was in there, the makeup. And it is just, to me, state-of-the-art. It really is. But that's Willowwood Community Center. Also, Precinct 93, which is Victory AME Zion Church. Then Precinct 92, which is Oak Forest Elementary School. Precinct 91, which is Timberlawn Elementary School. Precinct 74, Marshall Elementary School. Also Precinct 69, which is Aristotle Restoration Ministry. And then, of course, the people in rural Hinds County, like Learned Volunteer Fire Station, Dry Grove, Spring Ridge Christian Center, and also Chapel Hill, Little Mount Center, Byron 2, that's the Byron Volunteer Fire Department, and Terry 2, which is Wendell Baptist Church. People in those areas, all of those areas which we just mentioned, are voting September the 22nd, which is a few days away, for House District 66. And Councilman Stamps, as I always call you, we just gotta continue to get out and vote. Of course, this is what I consider the baby vote. And we got the big vote, this the baby vote.
Right.
So we want to get out on Tuesday and get the baby vote and get a victory for you. A straight out victory is what I'm asking for, Councilman Stamps. And of course, the Mississippi House of Representatives District 66 election is on Tuesday, September 22nd. And of course, before I leave this place, I want to ask you to tell us a little bit about some of your quote unquote things that you want to see done, like pro-economy, pro healthcare. Tell us about some of your other like your pro-economy and of course pro-economic development, and tell us about some of that before we get out of here.
Well, you know, we for years have been trying to coordinate things from one seat. And I learned a long time ago, you know, I fell in love with this process in the 6th grade.
Right.
I was involved in a process called youth legislature. That's where young people from the ages of grades of 6th grade to 12th grade go down to the Capitol. They be pages and they elect their own government every year.
Right.
So I did that 6 years in a row. And that's when I realized that the pen is truly mightier than the sword.
Right.
Because I got to see the policy piece.
I don't mean to interrupt you, but you're exactly right. We had a dean at Jackson State. He used to hold his pen up. He didn't say anything, but I'll get you out of here.
That's right.
With this right here. Would you make one mistake, I'm going to get you out of here. I ain't gonna call his name, but he held his pen up all the time, and he got people out of there.
That pen is mighty, and that's the power of a legislator. Now, you may not be individually superpowered, but as a group, you produce legislation that people have to live by, people go to jail by, people, you know, people get wealthy by, and people get poor by.
Right.
And so we learned that, and when we went to the military, we kind of fell in love with just the idea of America, being able to come together, work together, and go through a process to defend something. And so now, when we got back, we got we got employed by the CAO of the U.S. House to work at the U.S. House of Representatives in D.C., working on policy for veterans. And then we got assigned to the 2nd Congressional District, working with Congressman Thompson, working with veterans. And then we decided after that we wanted to get inside of policy, get in politics ourselves. They actually, instead of working for folks or behind the scenes, let's step out front. And we went through that long process. We campaigned for 9 months straight. We knocked on every door in Ward 4 3 times. And we came up 35 votes ahead of the next person. To make it into the and make it in. And so we know how hard you must work and how close these things can be. That's why it's critical that everybody come out to vote, because we know how close elections can be. I done won some close ones, and I lost a close one last year. By a razor margin.
Very much so.
You know, 0.3%. But we want to take the experience, and I want to just take a moment to say thank you to the folks in Ward 4. When we got involved in this, we knew what the job was, but together we've been able to work through a myriad of different issues over the last 7.5, almost 8 years. We've been ups and downs, smiles and frowns, cries. We've been able to pass historic legislation like decriminalizing marijuana and making the city a equal pay for equal work city. We've passed things for law enforcement. We've passed incentive programs for businesses. We've taken businesses like A to Z Print. When we got elected, our first time in 13, A to Z Print had 3 employees. Now they got 100. We pulled them into the ward. We've been able to write legislation for business improvement, like the Westin Hotel in the district. We've done hundreds of millions of dollars in economic development. And so now we want to broaden our focus, and we feel as though there's a disconnect between the city and the state. And we want to be that bridge to help move forward. Turn your radio down, caller. We want to be that bridge to help move things forward inside of Jackson and Hinds County. Hello, caller. Welcome to the show. What's your question or comment?
Yeah, how y'all doing?
Hey, how you doing, bro?
All right.
I heard one of your opponents or another gentleman running for the seat this morning on the radio, and he's a preacher. And I was not at all in any way impressed with the charismatic, with his demeanor as a man of God. It just sounded like he just wasn't humble. And I just can't see, we already have one preacher who represents the Hines County delegation. And I don't even think he should be on there, not because of the person, but because he's a preacher. And I don't think that there should be a separation of church and state. And the Bible says, give that which is to Caesar to Caesar. And how can a preacher, a man of God, stand before the people? And that district is Democratic. And there is no way any preacher can sit there before the people and tell the people that he believes in a woman's right to choose. So I can't see how a preacher can sit back and tell the constituency of that district that he will defend a woman's right to choose and still adhere to his calling to be a man of God. There ain't no way, you can't explain it. You know, I'm not a youngling in the word. You can't come up with no foolery. You can't pull select scriptures out and try and fool me with that. It ain't gonna happen. In my opinion, there are two people who are experienced legislators in that race. That is yourself, Councilman Stamps, and Calvin and Alderman Williams down in Calvin Williams out of Utica. I think either of you would be wonderful. I really do. I think either of you would be wonderful. DeKeither, we know who you are. You won't surprise us with the vote. And you've always stood on your own and you don't owe nobody nothing. And that's who you are. It's going to be hard to beat you because the people know who you are. And I also want to bring out the fact that when Stephanie Foster was running for state representative, she told a story about when the Raymond basketball team won the championship. And she said that when they had a problem getting all the boys rings, and she said that you were one of the first people who she called, and you donated money to ensure that the Raymond boys basketball team got rings. And they're not even in your district. They're not even in the city of Jackson. Is that true, Councilman?
That's true. Because, you know, those young folks down there, when you go down there, those young folks in Raymond, and I got family that all through Raymond High School. Hey, my daughter graduated, you know, from down there. And when she was living with her mother, you know, it's good folks down there. And some folks just can't afford. They just need some help. And when those young folks achieve something like that, become state champions, they're going to cherish that memory for the rest of their life. And we just didn't want them to just have a memory. We wanted them to have something physical, something they can, you know, put on their hand, just like the Super Bowl ring, that may encourage them to continue to achieve and continue to strive. So that's what we just, our heart, even though it wasn't in my district, wasn't even in the city, my heart just tugged to those young folks out there.
Well, again, I say to you, we know who you are. That's what, you know, I ain't telling nobody who to vote for, because I'm for either you or Calvin. With both of y'all great people and experienced legislators. But we know who you are. And you don't, you know, that's what I would absolutely expect for you to do. When you see people in need and somebody give you a call, I expect for you to give money for that. And I'm glad that Stephanie Foster told that story, because we would have never known it. So DeKeither, we know who you are. You the strongest candidate in that race. I just don't see nobody beating you. I don't even see it being a runoff. And Larry, next spring I want my $100.
Let me catch this caller. Man.
All right.
Oh, boy, I tell you.
Hello, caller. Welcome to the show. What's your question or comment?
Hey, Mr. Stamps.
Hello, gorgeous. How you doing?
I'm fine. Hi, Larry White.
Hey, I'm fine. How you doing?
You know, through the power of the internet, DeKeither, I watched you on I suppose you would say a forum with several of the other candidates. You're right. They're all very good people. very sincere individuals. But your responses were very much on point. And this election is yours to lose. I'm not a Mississippian, but if I were, I would be so happy to campaign for you and to vote for you. And this is Carol. I'm calling from Chattanooga. Thank you for allowing me to speak, Mr. Stamps.
Thank you very much. We appreciate you, ma'am, and you have a blessed day. Hello, caller. Welcome to the show. What's your question or comment?
Sir, I have a question, but it's not pertaining to what you are talking about.
Okay, what's going on there?
Okay, I was calling, sir. I thought I heard on the radio this morning announcements of Dean, the owner of Dean Funeral Home, that they had announced his funeral service.
I don't know about that, but we can check on that. I don't know. I don't want to say nothing that I don't know about, and so let me check on that before I speak on it. Okay.
Please do.
Okay.
Thank you.
Mm-hmm. I appreciate those calls. It's unsolicited. I didn't tell nobody to call here, but I just appreciate the love over the years of different folks. I do want to just say one thing. I don't discourage anybody from running for office. Right. No matter what your profession is, everybody got a right to run. Right. And let me catch this call. Hello, caller. Welcome to the show. What's your question or comment?
Right. Mr. DeKeither.
Yes.
I understand you running for another position right now.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. I know you is going to represent Jackson, but now what is wrong with the city council? What is wrong with that area? Now, if you're going to move from the city council, I'm just asking for it, and go. You couldn't move the ball at the city council. The city of Jackson is the parable. It's in the parable. Now you're going to move from there to go to the legislature. What are you going to do with there that you couldn't do with the city council? I hang up and listen.
Okay. Well, I appreciate that. We've gone through a lot of issues over the years. We've had successes and we've had drawbacks. But one thing I will say is that we have done good work over the years, and it may not be, the progress. I'm not satisfied with where we are either. But I do know we would have been in a whole lot different space if the things we've done had not been done. And we made some popular decisions and some very unpopular decisions. And sometimes we had to stand on the aisle. When I stood there in 2013 and I campaigned on canceling the Siemens contract and not doing it, I took the lumps and bruises. That's right. They were able to recruit. It was two of us that stood on that aisle, myself and Jonathan Lee. And a lot of people crucified Jonathan over there, and I squeaked in. I only made it in by 35 votes. Right. I squeaked in. Right. Out of 16,000 voters to come in by 35 votes because of that single issue. And then as soon as I became president of the council, I launched an investigation into the whole thing and turned it over to the FBI. Right. And then we used that work product to in turn sue Siemens and got a check for $65 million. Or the money, $90 million, but 65 directly to what we were doing. So, when you're a part of a body, no one person is the body or the group. Just like in the legislature, one person is not the group. Right. But I do know that we're going to stand up for Jackson and Hinds County. We're going to continue to try to push the delegation forward because it's our belief that the Hinds County delegation should be the strongest delegation in the state for a couple very pivotal reasons. First, the two most powerful people in our state government are in the Hinds County delegation. First and foremost, the lieutenant governor and the speaker of the House are right here in Hinds County. And secondly, we have the most members that represent parts of the Hinds County delegation. So we want to just add a degree of understanding and a degree of talent to the group so that the group can be more successful and in turn deliver a better work product back to the constituents of Hinds County. Let me catch the next call. Hello, caller. Welcome to the show.
Yeah, good. How you doing today?
I'm well. How you doing?
Mr. Stamps, if you're successful on your election bid, Will you have to go into November election face anybody, or is that it?
That'll be it. On Tuesday, if we go handle this business, that will be it. And we'll be ready to work. Day one.
And one other thing, will you have any influence as to bringing money to the city of Jackson to take care of various projects? Is that something you can do or what?
Oh, most definitely. We're going to continue to expand our reach. We took thank you very much, Carl. We took the position that we were in, and we've worked with everybody from Donald Trump to Kenny Stokes. The day Donald Trump was elected, I got a phone call from the White House to come be a part of the transition process. Where everybody was mad, I've always answered the call to duty. And that's what we understand intimately well is duty. And no matter who is in charge or who's in leadership, it's our duty to work with folks to get stuff done. And one of the things we were able to get done in that process was working on criminal justice reform at the federal level. And now we got to work it on at the local level. So we're going to keep working hard. And we're going to keep doing everything we can do inside the confines of our position. And as far as we can stretch it. Our issue is we've stretched the city council. See, I got the same job as Councilman Tillman. I got the same job as Councilwoman Lindsay. I got the same job as Councilman Foote. Now, I'm not paralleling myself to anybody. We just believe we stretched that position further than anybody on the board. When you stack up our work product and the things we've done in relation to everybody on the board, we believe we've stretched our position as far as we can stretch it. And we need a little bit more space. We need a little bit more, elevation so that we can continue to stretch it. We're going to do the same thing in the state legislature. The one promise I've ever made in any campaign, I made it in 2013, I made it in 17, and I made it in 19, and I'm making it here today. The very one campaign promise, I will only make one promise. There will be nobody who outworks me. Nobody. Because I've been built to do this. I grew up working. I had two of those. When I say I'm blessed to have some parents, some real hard working, all go, no quit parents that didn't never, take they foot out my butt and made me work. And then when I went to the military, I went to the Marine Corps, Larry. Mm-hmm. I went to the Marine Corps. When my dad came to graduation, he said, "How was it?" I said, "It was easy." You mean to tell me I got to just get up, make my bed, right, eat my breakfast, do what I'm told, right, do some push-ups, something like that? And I'm a Marine. Now, learning Mississippi was hard. Right. I said, you know what? I ain't even going to college. I'm going on the first train smoking. That was hard work. We had a 2-man operation, and somebody was a teacher, and somebody was the doer. Right. So you got the dual part. Right. So, but I won't trade it for nothing. Right. When I say my dad is amazing, he made a man out of me. I don't bow down to nobody. Right. I stand my ground where I am. And I don't even, parade my dad around. Right. Because when he told me, when you become a man, you stand on your own 2 feet. I was gonna be have your back. Right. But you got to stand on your own 2 feet. So I appreciate my dad and my mom, for being there for me and my whole family for making a man out of me. Because I also had 9 aunties. Right. And, so hello, caller, welcome to the show. What's your question or comment?
Yes, sir. How you doing?
What's going on?
All right. Is that Brother Stamp?
Yes, sir. It's me.
Look, man. Hey, we know each other very well. I'm not gonna give my name over the air. But look, you're right. Our parents made men back then because that's what they were. And this generation has missed that. And that's one of the problems that we're having today. But I called in about the racism because I know that your heart is just like my heart on all lives mattering, but especially black males. Mm-hmm. You know that we have a restaurant here in the Mississippi, Jackson surrounding area that are against us as black individuals. Mm-hmm. I'm not gonna give that restaurant's name over air, but they're located in Ridgeland, Mississippi, which is better known as Madison.
So I got a number here that ends in 4520. Is that your number?
And that's my number.
Okay.
And I know that you are for that.
I'm gonna give you a call when we get off the show, just to get a little information so I can have my people look into it and see what's going on.
Please do, because I called the FBI, I called the franchise company all about the situation that occurred at this establishment, and you know what I got behind it?
What's that?
I got the police called on me, and I got threatened from an anonymous number, you know, saying if I made any trouble on this restaurant, something would happen to me.
Okay, we'll check in on you, brother, and I appreciate you for calling in.
But look, I love what you're doing, and I love your platform. Are you going to run for mayor? That's the question.
Well, let me answer that for you now, and just hang up and take a listen, okay?
Hang up and take a listen. I got you.
All right. You know, I have probably got that question, Larry, 1,000 times. If I had $1 every time folks ask me to run for mayor, let me just say this. It takes maturity to understand your season and not allow your ego to let folks promote you out of your season. I feel that it's just not my season.
Right.
If you allow to yourself to get promoted out of season, those things that you are working on may not have matured in time for the exposure to happen. But what you do is, and I think it lines up with this move going to the House.
Right.
Jackson doesn't have the resources to fix Jackson because Jackson is looked at as Jackson's problem.
Right.
But what we have to do is make Mississippi realize that Jackson is Mississippi's problem.
That's correct.
And if you want to move Mississippi's economy forward, there's going to have to be an infusion of interest in Jackson. We're trying to build a statewide economy with little small pockets of people.
Right.
We have an urban city that needs to be allowed to do what urban cities do.
Right.
Baton Rouge and Birmingham are not competing with Brandon.
Right.
Okay. If we're going to have something to compete economically, I know we talked about voting.
Right.
But remember, ladies and gentlemen, those of you who listen to the show long enough know, we say that you fight your battles with your Bible, your ballot, and your wallet.
That's right.
That's what you fight your battles with.
Right.
Your Bible, your ballot, and your wallet. Mississippi's economy is not going to grow like it needs to grow until Mississippi gets smarter than Alabama. Even 3/2 of Alabama has figured out that there needs to be a Birmingham.
Right.
And what we need to do to build Birmingham is to invest in it, make it grow.
That's right.
Not pull from it
That's
and
right.
make it die.
That's right.
Alabama, Louisiana has figured out that, you know what? Louisiana needs a New Orleans.
Right.
Even though it's black and Democrat controlled.
Right.
Louisiana's economy needs a New Orleans.
That's right.
In order for Mississippi to grow, Mississippi needs to look north, south, look at Tennessee. Tennessee has figured out
Right.
that, you know what? In order for Tennessee to grow, Tennessee needs a Memphis, needs a Nashville.
That's right.
It needs those urban cities that may be controlled by folks of other races and other parties, but that economy is necessary. And so all I'm going to do at the House, Larry,
Right.
is I'm going to open up the windows of the House
Right.
and say, look to your east and look to your west
Right.
and look to your north.
Right.
Every other state around us has figured out that, you know what? In order for the state's economy to grow, of Louisiana, of Tennessee, and of Alabama, we need a Birmingham, we need a Memphis,
Right.
we need a New Orleans.
Right.
Okay, 2 of these states have figured out how to have pro football and basketball teams in urban cities, because the only place you can put one of those kinds of establishments is in a place where you have enough people to buy the stinking tickets.
Right. In order to justify it.
In order to justify it. You want to know why Mississippi don't have a pro team? You don't have enough people in a concentrated area who can buy the tickets.
That's right.
The minute you get enough people in a concentrated area with enough money to buy the tickets, somebody gonna say, you know what? There's an emerging economy in Mississippi.
That's right.
We must bring the NBA ship to Mississippi and plant a franchise to get that money.
Right. You're
So
exactly right.
what I'm saying is, I'm not saying I'm the smartest person in the world. I'm not saying I'm the best candidate in the world.
Right.
I'm saying I'm the best candidate on the list.
Right.
And we believe our vision of saying, Mississippi, look to your east, look to your west, look to your north, and let's do what other states around us has done. And they did it 40 years ago.
That's right.
So Mississippi needs to step out of the caveman thinking and say, you know what? We need to build an economy, and the only real place to really build an economy is Hinds County, and specifically the city of Jackson. If you want to build a roaring economy, our children are leaving here not just because of some of these other issues. Our children are leaving here because they want an urban environment.
That's right.
Jackson, I would rather my child live in downtown Jackson than San Antonio. I got a daughter right now in the Air Force. She's in San Antonio. She want to live like they see on TV.
Right.
The only place to deliver that to our children is Jackson. Because these young folks, they're not like me. I want acres and acres and acres.
Right.
They want a condo and a coffee shop.
Right.
Okay?
To walk to.
To walk to. Right? They want a condo and a coffee shop, and they want to walk around the corner to a job that pays a decent amount of money and back to their condo and their coffee shop. And that's what they want to do.
Right.
The best place to do that is Jackson, Mississippi. And until we get our state to understand that, then our economy is going to be depressed, and our children, we're going to be traveling to visit our grandchildren. I don't want to travel to visit my grandchildren.
I heard that.
Okay, I don't want to be all over the place. I got a son in Jacksonville in the Navy, and a daughter in San Antonio in the Air Force. You know, I don't want to be all over the place. I want them to be down in John Jackson. Right. And so that's the message we take into the house: is open the window of the house and look to your left and right, north.
Right.
Hello, caller. Welcome to the show. Hello, caller. You're live on air. What's your question or comment? All right. Well, I guess he hung up. But so that's our message, ladies and gentlemen, is that we're asking folks to go out and vote early. Absentee. If you are gonna be, if you're 65 old, you just go vote. If you are gonna be out of the county, if you're gonna be working. Let me catch your call. Hello, caller. Welcome to the show. What's your question or comment?
Well, Keith, I be breathing down your neck every time you're on the mic. I be breathing down your neck. But this Master D, and I've been on the airway 30 years, and I really think and sincerely know that deep down in your heart you care about the people, and it's just a little bit outside the margin on my district, but if I had the chance as an independent, I would go for you, because I know you are sincere and you love people. But we had more politicians like you, things around this town would be better, because you're honest and you do your due diligence and you're not crooked. And that's the point. We have to put people in office who are people of integrity and have a good name and a good report. Don't lose your dignity, people out there hearing me, because you think you want to get paid for it. Your good name is worth more than your weight in gold. So I'm telling everybody, and I know most of the candidates on there, but cast your vote for DeKeither stamp, because we need to keep good people in office. And I know what direction you're trying to take. And when you do step out on faith, we can take him, because I'm going to vouch for you. And, we put him in office. I put him in office, and I can take him out of office. Thank you. Have a good day.
Hey, God bless you, Master D.
God bless you.
And so, Larry, we're going to Little party comments. We got about 4 minutes left to go on the show.
You know, I just want to remind the listeners that we gotta vote. We gotta get out and vote. Don't let them silence us. Make your voice heard. Vote like your rights depend on it.
Mm-hmm.
Get out on Tuesday, September the 22nd, and exercise your right to vote. Now, if you like to vote absentee and you're going to be going out of town on Tuesday, go down to the courthouse and vote on Monday. They'll be open from 8 a.m. to 5 p.m. on Monday. You can go and vote on Monday, the 21st, from 8 a.m. to 5 p.m.
That's for the presidential election.
That's for your election.
No, not on Monday. Because our early voting stops on Saturday at 12.
Oh, I forgot. You're right. That's right. That's Saturday.
But if you're going to vote in the special election,
you got to go Saturday.
Before Saturday at 12.
Right. Oh, boy. I topped it.
It's all good.
That's right. That is correct.
Yeah. So ladies and gentlemen, we appreciate it. Let me catch this last call. Hello, caller. Welcome to the show.
You're right.
How you doing this evening?
Hey, is that Pastor Washington?
This him?
It is. How you doing, sir?
Doing real good. I just called to let you know that we having a voters registration drive going to be down in Cary, starting from 1 to 6 at Cary Community Park down in Cary on Saturday.
Okay.
And then Sunday we're going to have it down at Old Strangers Home on the outside. We're trying to get everybody that we can that ain't registered to vote, ready for they get ready to vote in November. And then the ones that already registered to vote, we want to encourage them to get out and vote.
So Terry is going to be Saturday from 1 to 6?
1 to 6.
And where is it going to be?
At Cary Community Park.
Okay, and what time is the one at Old Strangers Home?
It's going to start about 3 o'clock on Sunday.
And 3 to what time?
3 till they stop coming.
3 till they stop coming. Old Strangers Home. Okay.
On the green bank.
Midnight.
Okay. Well, come on down, y'all. Govern yourselves accordingly. We appreciate you, Pastor, for calling in.
Yep. Tell Brother Larry right there hello.
Thank you. Hey, Reverend. Yeah. DeKeither, you're correct. It's Saturday at 12 noon that you can go down to the circuit clerk's office and register and vote if you already are registered, and then you can vote absentee starting on Saturday at noon.
No, up until Saturday.
Up until Saturday at noon.
Yep.
DeKeither, we just gotta get people out and energized for this election.
That's right.
Most special elections have a very low turnout. We can't afford to do that this time. People, we gotta get out and vote September the 22nd, which is Tuesday.
Well, we appreciate
and our preferred candidate is DeKeither Stamps for the Mississippi House of Representatives District 66. Please get out and vote on Tuesday.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, South Jackson, Byram, Terry, Utica, Learning, Raymond, it's time for us to change Mississippi. And we ask you to do that on September 22nd or before, if you qualify to vote absentee, and vote for DeKeither Stamps for House Representative District 66. And as always, ladies and gentlemen, never let anybody put you in a position where you don't love your own people. Because when you hate your own people, you're part of the oppression we're trying to lift ourselves out of. I love you, Jackson. I love you, Mississippi, Hinds County. Let's take it to the house. Handy, take us out of here.
Byram, Terry, Utica, Learning, Raymond. It's time for us to work together to bring jobs and economic development and a better quality of life to the residents of Hinds County. We need better fire support for all of the development in Hinds County. We need better internet services so that our children can learn virtually. But it's going to take leadership to do all these things and more. That's why we're asking for your prayers, your support, and vote for DeKeither Stamps for House of Representatives, District 66 on September 22nd. This is DeKeither Stamps, and I approve this message.
A man on a mission. I love y'all.
A proud
Don't need no permission.
underwriter.
Let me stop.
Noble Arts